Okay, all right, awesome. So thank you so much for joining us. You can see that I'm at the Warrensville Public Library right now, and I'm so excited to make some slime with you guys today. But this is no ordinary slime that we're making. We are making spooky Halloween slime, which is going to be a lot of fun, right? So I don't think I have to do introductions because I think everyone on I've already met, which is pretty cool. But just as a reminder, my name is Miss Tara and I work here at the library and I get to hang out with kids like you all the time, which is super neat. You may also notice that I have my mask on today. I know for certain programs when I'm at home, I don't have my mask on because then I'm alone and I'm in a safe space. But because I'm out in public, I do have my mask on. So you guys can hear me, right? Can you give a thumbs up if you can hear me well? Awesome. Okay, I always just like to check with that just because I've got my mic here and I just always like to double check. Okay. Oh, hold on one second. Thank you so much, Jen. I appreciate that. Let me just write that down super quick. Awesome. Okay, so for right now, I'm just going to close my chat out, but let's just go over the rules like we always do for the program. So as I mentioned before, if you guys can just make sure that your audio is turned off for now, at the end of the program, we can take the time to turn it on and we could show each other our slime or say what we thought about the program, which is always really cool. But for now, it's gonna help you to hear me best if I'm the only one speaking. So we super appreciate that. Also, like I did mention, I always record these programs because in case there's kiddos that could not attend, that way we'd have the recording and we do eventually put them up, hopefully on our YouTube channel, so then that way we can just direct families and parents to go there and see that. So if at any point you do not want your video to be on, you're more than welcome to leave it off. That's a-okay with us. We're just glad that you're even attending. So don't feel like you have to have that on because we can just chat in the chat box if you have any questions. But I always like to tell families that right off the bat. Let's see. So today we talked about that we're making Halloween slime, right? Which is going to be pretty fun. So the cool thing is, and I'm just going to say this off the bat because I know I said it in email to a lot of your grown-ups, but just in case it didn't get across. We're going to go ahead and go over what came in our kits in just about a minute. But the first thing I do want to mention is that food coloring was the only thing that we did not put in the kit. Okay, so for me, I have green because I wanted green slime, okay? But the reason that we did not, oh, very good, Adeline, awesome. Oh, okay, David has some. Let's see. Now that's okay if you don't have any. So the cool thing is if you don't have any food coloring, oh, Alyssa does, very good. If you don't have food coloring, you can pretend that your slime is ghost slime because it's going to be neat. It's going to have eyeballs and everything in it anyway. So that's a-okay if you don't have a food coloring. But I wanted to have one in it. So before we go over what's in our kit, I do just want to let you guys know, so this program is definitely a STEM program because we're mixing different materials together. Like, oh, Alyssa's got a bunch of food coloring. So we have a bunch of different things that oh, very good, Vanille, you can definitely use that. You're just going to have to kind of mix it up a little bit more just because it's not like the regular liquid form, okay? Oh, and I see Vivek has some too. Very good. Like I said, the only reason that we didn't have that in the kit is because it was a little too expensive to do it on the scale. We normally make 20 kits up for you guys to pick up, and that would have just been a little hard for us to get all over. But anyway, what I wanted to go over with you guys real quick is the importance of how we're going to make the slime. So I know kids have always made slime, and I know you guys love slime, but it is really important because the slime that we're making today uses contact solution and glue and baking soda. So we're going to go over what's in the kit, but I want you guys to be aware that once we start making the slime and mixing the different materials, you do not want to you do not want to touch your eyes, you don't want to touch your nose or your mouth, okay? Because you don't want to get the stuff in your eyes. So if you're playing with the slime after we've made it, make sure that you don't put your fingers anywhere on your face because it's not good to do that with these materials, okay? Let me just double check here. First off, and I can have you guys do this later as well, but before we even start making the slime, I do want you guys to have your hands washed. One reason for that is because when we go to make the slime, and we start stretching it out, if you haven't washed your hands and let's say you ate dinner a little while ago or you had a snack or you were, bless you, or you were playing out in the dirt, you don't want to get that stuff in the slime because it will make it not as stretchy and it won't last as long. The slime that we're making today, after you're done playing with it, if you put it in the fridge in a Tupperware container, it can last up to a week as long as your hands are clean. But if you go and make this without washing your hands, it's probably not going to last more than 2 days without having like a little bit of a smell to it because you might still have bacteria on your hands. So I know that's not super fun, but it's just important to note. So does anyone need to go wash their hands before we get started? If so, we'll give it 3 minutes on the clock here and we'll let everyone go wash their hands and come back, okay? That's a-okay if you need to go wash your hands. Plus, right now, that's a really good time to do it, right? We're all washing our hands right now to get bad bacteria off, especially because it's starting to get colder out. Okay, awesome, Jen. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that. Okay, all right, so it looks like everyone except Alyssa is back. So we're just gonna give her 1 more minute just to come back. Very good. Oh, okay, and Alyssa's even got her hair up. See, that's perfect too. That's also why I have my hair up as well, but you don't need to have it up if you don't want it up. Okay, so let's talk about the ingredients that come in our kit. Because as you guys know by this point, because you are STEM champs for coming every week, which we so appreciate, in your kit has the materials for 2 different activities. So we have the materials for slime today, and then we have the materials for the skeleton bone bridge, which is next Friday. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be all about engineering. So we don't want to use the materials from the skeleton bone bridge, okay? We want to make sure that those stay in our bag, and we just want to use what we have for slime. So let's talk about everything that you would need. And I know you can't see below me, so I'll hold them up, okay? The first thing that you're going to need is our container of glue. You probably saw my coworker so kindly wrote glue on the top of the container. Make sure you don't open it yet, okay? Everything that we're going to show each other, we're just not going to open up until we're at that point. So we've got our glue. Next thing we have is our baking soda. Some of you may have it wrapped in a little bag here. Very good. Awesome. Okay. Next, we're going to have our contact solution. Like I said, this is not water, okay? So we don't want this anywhere near our mouth, nose, eyes, anything like that. Very good. Okay, the next thing that you're going to want is some eyeballs. Now, I have a very big bag of eyeballs, but in your bag came with 6 little eyeballs. Now, you don't need to use these if you don't want to. I know sometimes with textures, people don't like hard things and soft things. I'm like that with foods. So if you don't want to use your eyeballs, you don't have to. But I think it's kind of, it adds like a spookier thing to it. Okay, then we also talked about the food coloring, right? So we all have our food coloring. Unless we want to make ghost slime, then we're not using food coloring. Very good. All right, now here's some things that I'm going to suggest that we should have, but if you don't have them, it's a-okay. I'm going to suggest that you have a pair of scissors to cut open your bag of baking soda when we get to that point. I'm going to suggest that you have a spoon of some sort. After we start putting the materials together, you're going to want to very gently mix them together and not have them splash because it can dye things if you're using the food coloring. So you want some kind of spoon, okay? Or something, you could use a popsicle stick too if you wanted. Now remember, you don't want to use the ones out of your kit if possible. You don't want to use the same ones, but you want something that you could mix with. So I think David's going to go get his. He'll be right back. Does everyone else have a spoon? Very good. Okay. Yeah, you want to make sure that you have a spoon or something. Very good. Awesome, Vivek. Awesome, Vanille. Very good, David. Okay. Awesome. All right, and I'm just gonna wait for Adeline to come back and then we'll move forward because I don't want her to miss anything. Meanwhile, I'll do the spoon dance. Do, 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 do. There we go. There she is. Okay, so we have a spoon. All right, the next thing that you're going to need, which also comes from a kitchen, is a cup. Now you don't need a mug like this, but you do want some kind of bigger cup. I normally have, or a bowl. A bowl works too, either a cup or a bowl, whatever you're more comfortable with. Normally when we're in the library, I have you guys use a bigger cup than this because then we can just throw them away at the end. But I think this is a little too small for what we're making today. So I chose to get a bigger cup. So we're going to wait for all our friends to get that. And I know it's a lot of instructions to start, but this is going to help us out when we actually go to make the slime. Perfect. Perfect. If you have a bowl, that's amazing. I didn't have one here at the library with me, so I always use a cup. Very good. Okay, I think everyone has a bowl now or a cup of some sort. Awesome. Very good. Okay, finally, here's some things that I just suggest that you also have if you want. I'm throwing in glitter just for fun, but you don't need it because glitter can kind of get everywhere, but it's a fun thing to have. Also, I have some baby wipes or some paper towels. So the dye does kind of get on your skin unless you're wearing gloves. So I'm having these ready, especially because we're here at work and I don't want to dye anything. And I'm right in front of a computer too. All right, so I think I went over everything that we should have in our kit or possibly have at home if we wanted. So let me just make sure, I'm just gonna wait for Alyssa and Vivek and Vanille to come back, just so we're all on the same page. I like that dinosaur. That's awesome. Very good. Oh, and the princess too. Okay, you've got your gloves. Okay, you're good. That is another thing that I will mention real fast too. If you have any type of allergies, like skin allergies, or if you ever get like any rashes or anything, if you would happen to have gloves, that's something that's helpful. But if not, you're okay too. All right, so just once again, real quick, I'm just going to say we are using chemicals in this program. So I know you guys already washed your hands, which was good. An important thing is after you're done with the program, make sure you also wash your hands again, okay? So anytime that you play with the slime that you make, you want to wash your hands before and you want to wash them after. That way, nothing stays on your hands. Also, the contact solution that we're using today, the reason that it works to make our slime is because it has boric acid in it, which is completely fine as long as you wash it off after. So you want to just make sure that you wash your hands. And then let's see. Okay, so let me just make sure that I have everyone here. I'm waiting on Vanille and Vivek, and then we'll get started with our first step. Now, I will say slime sometimes, it's not like the kit that you'll get from school or from like for Christmas sometimes. This slime takes a little bit of work. So when we put all the ingredients in, we're going to have to use our muscles to mix some things up. And you'll notice right away that it'll stay a little sticky until we knead it enough. And I don't mean knead as in I knead a cupcake. I mean knead as in like kneading bread. We're going to use our hands and our fingers to knead the slime solution to make it into slime. And I think I have everyone. Vanille, are you there? Awesome. Okay, very good. All right, friends. So we got through all the rules. We got through all those things. Now this is the super fun part, okay? Thumbs up. Awesome. Okay, very good. All right, so the first thing that we're going to go ahead and do is we are going to open up our glue. Okay? Now remember, you guys can all promise, right, that we'll only open the ingredients one at a time while we're going through the steps. Okay, we're going to open up our glue and we're going to pour it into our bowl or cup. Look at that. It's a little tricky just because I don't want it to pour out everywhere, but it's in here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pour it into our cup or our, woo, it leaked. We're going to pour it into our cup or we're going to pour it into our bowl. I'm actually going to set this down real quick here for a second. Be careful that you take the lid off the container because for me, I just dropped it a couple different places. Oh goodness, and this is why I said we definitely need paper towels. Just because I know how I am and I spill things sometimes. You can see I'm dripping my glue into the cup. Make sure you get it all in there. And if it starts to spill, that's okay, because you can always, woo, you can always just get another paper towel. All right, hold on one second, guys. Goodness gracious, we've all learned how to do things in front of a computer, but it still gets everywhere. Okay, so make sure while I'm cleaning this up, make sure that you get all the glue out of your cup. And if that means using your spoon to scrape the sides, make sure you get it all out of there. Okay, I was just checking the chat. Might ask Miss Abby to give me more paper towels. All right, so how's that looking? Did we all have that in our bowl or in our cup? Okay, and like I said, don't be afraid if you have to wipe some things up because that's what I just had to do. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the first thing we did was we poured our glue into our bowl. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to very carefully either cut open or open our baking soda over our bowl or our mug. Okay, I'm going to use scissors because I think that's going to go a little better. And once we go ahead and put the baking soda in the slime, we're going to mix it around with a spoon just a little bit, just enough to mix the two together. Okay. All right, so I don't know if I can tip it so you guys can see it. I put my baking soda in there, okay? And you're gonna go ahead and mix the baking soda into the glue. Now at this point, you'll wanna leave your spoon in your bowl or in your cup because I think that'll be easier for you guys. All right, so give me a thumbs up when we're all at that point where we've poured it all in there. I see Alyssa's at that point. David is half at that point. That's okay, you can keep mixing it in. Gets a little messy. And it's okay if the baking soda gets a little chunky in there. We just want to make sure it has a good consistency in there. That's all. At this point too, I know that some people could take like half a teaspoon of water and put it in if they wanted to. I suggest you don't do that. That's if you really want your slime to be super stretchy, but at that point the slime really doesn't like to stay together. It's really gooey and slimy and it's not super fun to play with if you put too much water in. So I would just skip that step. But later on, once your slime is done, if you wanted to mix some in, you could. And let's see. Everyone act like a moose if they're past that point with the baking soda. Very good. Awesome. Okay, so we went ahead and put our baking soda in. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our contact solution, okay, our container. We're going to open the lid and we're going to go ahead and put it in our glue and mix it. Actually, go ahead. Go ahead. I was being silly. Go ahead. Go ahead and slowly pour it in. Now, if you can, don't pour it in all at one time, okay? Just pour it in a little bit. But if you put, it's okay, David. If you poured it in all at one time, it's fine. But don't mix it up yet once you pour it in, okay? So go ahead and pour that contact solution in. Make sure you get it all in there, but try not to mix it up yet, okay? All right, because the next thing that I want us to go ahead and do before we go and mix it up is I want us to go ahead and add our eyeballs in, okay? And our food coloring if we have it, but let's do eyeballs first. So you should have all gotten 6 to 8 eyeballs. So if you'd want to put them in there, you can. If you don't want to put them in there, you don't have to. But I'm going to go ahead and put eyeballs in because that's going to make it super Halloween-y. Because who doesn't like eyeballs, right? All right, and then after that, don't mix it up yet, okay? I want you to take 2 to 3 drops of your food coloring and put it in. But only 2 to 3 drops total. Don't want to put too much, otherwise your hands will get super dyed. And then it'll be all over the slime, but it'll also be all over you. Which is good for us, but not so good for our parents. Let's see. So you could also at this point, if you had glitter, add that. But I think most of us don't have glitter, so I'm going to skip that step. At this point, I want you to go ahead and start mixing your solution all together. Now I'm going to warn you, we're going to be mixing for at least 3 minutes. Okay? So you can see my slime is already getting a little slimy. See the eyeballs? Okay, very good. So go ahead and keep mixing everything together. And we're just gonna hang out while we mix. You'll notice that initially it'll start and it'll be super slimy and sticky. The consistency that we wanna get to is where it's so thick that you could pull it out with your hand and stretch it. But we're not there yet, okay? See how it's getting thicker for me? Everyone look. Do you see how it's getting thicker? Here, I'll do it again, ready? Look at the slime. Woo. Look how cool and creepy this is. Mine is a lot greener in person than it's showing on camera. This is more like a forest slime. Look at that. Oh. Make sure you keep mixing it. So if it still has the consistency where it's very sticky, that means you need to mix it more. And you'll notice that it's going to get slimier. Look, everyone. Slime. Ooh, Alyssa, that's looking cool. Adeline, that's looking great. Vanille, I like that. That looks super creepy and cool. Vivek, how's yours going? Good? Look, now I can show you guys. Look, my spoon actually got stuck. Look at the inside. Ooh, see? This is looking great, you guys. You're doing wonderful. Everett, I like your smiles. It must be going good. Adeline, you too. All right, so we're gonna keep mixing and mixing. Oh, Vivek, there you go. There's your slime. It's looking great. We're gonna mix it for about 2 more minutes until 6:03. And then at that point, guys, we're gonna take it out of the bowls and the mugs and we're gonna stretch it, which is the most fun part ever. And that's how we actually make the slime be slime. Because what happens as you guys are mixing, I'll break this down for you, okay? We mix together baking soda, contact solution, and glue. Okay, the contact solution, when you make slime, must have boric acid in it, and that actually has a reaction with the baking soda in the glue. The reaction is what causes the super thick slime to form, and that's how you go from stretchy liquid glue to the stretchy awesome slime. Okay, so I think I'm going to give it one more minute, but then look, my slime is ready to get out and be stretched. Look at that. Oh, David, that looks great. Very good, Alyssa. I love the color. Woo. It's silly, but it's fun. Woo. Vivek, I love that slime. That's amazing. Now, I can see Vanille and Vivek, it's still a little stretchy, so you want to make sure you're really mixing it good to get that thicker consistency. Okay, and then once it's thick enough, that's when we can go ahead and pull it out of our mug or out of our bowl, and we can go ahead and stretch it. But look, I think some of you can see there's an eyeball in there. Ooh. Adeline, that looks great. See, and it's still a little stretchy, so you want to make sure you mix it really good. Like imagine you're making a big bowl of cookies and you have to mix all the different ingredients together. That's what you want to do with your spoon. And remember, guys, like I said, once we're starting to play with the slime and stretching it, do not touch your eyes or your nose or your mouth. Okay, and once you're done stretching it out, you want to make sure you wash your hands. Now, when you go to start stretching it here, some parts are going to still be tacky. That's a-okay, because what happens is we already had the reaction between the baking soda and the glue, but the more that we knead it like dough or like to making bread, it mixes the ingredients even more and is going to give us that consistency. So Vanille, see how that's still kind of sticky? That means you still need to mix it up really good and then start to knead it. It's getting there. Same thing for Vivek, that looks amazing. You just have to keep mixing, and I know it takes a little bit of time, but that's okay. It looks like David has already gotten to the point where he's starting to stretch it out. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and set my spoon down, and I'm gonna take a big leap and do the same thing. Oops, you know what? Another thing to look for real quick, kids, is look at the bottom of your bowl or of your mug. If it's got the real sticky stuff on the bottom, make sure you take your spoon and really get down and in there so you can mix it all in. Vanille, you're doing great, bud. See? Ooh. Isn't that amazing? Very good. Oh, Vanille, it's finally working. Awesome. So see how Vanille, everyone look if you can at Vanille's screen. See how it's still kind of sticky? That means that he needs to start getting it all together. And that's what I'm going to do too. I'm going to set my spoon down and I'm actually going to take this slime out. See how it's still kind of sticky, guys? That means I need to knead it. Okay? So I'm going to pull it as much out as I can. Got to just reach. Look how far my hand is in here. Got to get all the way to the bottom. Aha! Look, guys, I got it. Okay. There's some, it's still sticky in certain parts. So that means that we need to knead it together. So whenever you're ready and it's not completely liquid, like Adeline, I would still mix yours just slightly because it's still just liquid form, but it's getting close to where it needs to be. See, like Vanille is now very good. You've gotten to the point where you could pull it out and stretch it. Look at this, guys. Look at all the eyeballs. Very good. See, and this is the best part, is that now we're just stretching our Halloween slime out. And the more that you knead it, the better slime it's going to be. Now, as I mentioned before, since we washed our hands, when we're done playing with our slime, we could put it in a Tupperware container, and it can last up to 4 to 5 days in our fridge. So when you're done playing with it, you can put it in your fridge, and then it'll be fine to get it out and play with it again. Oh gosh, look at it go. Ah. Very good. You guys are doing great. You might also notice too things like this happen. Can you guys see this? See the air bubbles, the air pockets that formed in the slime? It's because air gets trapped while we're playing with it, and then it comes out as a bubble. Ooh, sometimes you tear it too. Very good, Alyssa. I love the color. Adeline, that looks like so much fun. You're doing a great job. Vivek, I love that one too. It's a great color. David, I love the purple. Look how stretchy it is. Now, as I was saying before, as we talked about in the recipe, if you wanted stretchier slime than this, more like Adeline's, you could always add more water. But I prefer the slime to be more like this, where you can actually mold it, and that's why we didn't put the water in. Oh, look, there's another air bubble. Does anyone else have air bubbles in their slime? Oh, Vanille, that was awesome. Adeline, that looks great. Does everyone love their slime? Yeah? Ah! See, I could see this slime in like a haunted house, especially with the eyeballs. I don't know if you guys can see the eyeballs. Ooh. You guys are doing great. Mine has a lot of air pockets. See? It's kind of like bubble wrap. Who's seen bubble wrap before? You? Yeah? It's the same kind of sound that it's making. It's like pop, 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 pop. Adeline, are you having fun with your slime? Good. How about you, Everett? Are you having fun with your slime? It looks super slimy. Vivek, how about you? Are you having fun with your slime? Very good. Alyssa? Yeah, very good. I love that color. It's beautiful. How about you, David? Are you having fun with your slime? Awesome. How about you, Vanille? Do you like your slime? Oh, you love your slime. Woo! Covered in goo. Look, you can kind of see me through it. Look at that. Oh, I'm gonna lose it. Hold on. Oh, it almost fell. Wow, it picked up the bag, Vanille. That's almost like Spider-Man. Spider-Man and his web, right? Ooh. It's amazing, right, too, how something can be a solid, but then it can be so elastic. Has a lot of elasticity. That means you can stretch it. Let me just double check in the chat here because I think I see a notification. Oh, very good, Jen. I'm so glad that they're enjoying it. Colin, Jack, and Michaela, I hope that you're having fun. Slime is my favorite thing to make. It seems like it's super easy, but it's got so much science involved, and it's super fun to throw other things in. Like I said, I know some kids do not like texture. So in that case, I wouldn't put the extra eyeballs and things in. But you can do a lot of different themed slimes. We've done Galaxy Slime at the library, which was fun. We've done, this is our Halloween one. Sometimes people do Christmas slime, which is really fun too, or like holiday slime. Look guys, it's a hot dog. Or a caterpillar. Do, 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 do. And it's neat to be able to see you all do your slime at once too. I love Adeline's. It's so awesome. It's like so stretchy. Everett's too. I love how stretchy they are. Vivek, that's super cool too. You can even like make your handprint in your slime too. You could like flatten it out. And then if you pull it off, you can see the lines in your hand. See? Very good. There's a lot of things you can do with slime. You can stretch it between your fingers. You could do a goal of seeing how big you can make it without it falling apart, like this. And then just keep turning it and see how far you can get it to stretch. Almost looks like a stained glass window, or sometimes like Vanille just realized it can break apart. This one's gotten pretty big. Oh, look at that air bubble. That's a big one, huh? Oh, very good, Alyssa. That's awesome. That was awesome. Her mom just blew a bubble through her. Oh, David, that looks great. Oh, look, that's awesome, David. You almost got a full bubble out of that. Oh, it's almost there. That's amazing too, right? Because the more you squish it in, the more solid it becomes. But remember, when we stretch it out, it becomes very transparent. So you can see through it. Let me see. Too sticky and not solid. Well, I can definitely go over the order of the instructions again. What I would say is if it's for Adeline and Everett, if it's too sticky, what I would say is that if you can put it back in the container and really work on mixing it, because when it first starts out, after you put the baking soda, the glue, and the and the contact solution together, it is very much like how theirs is sticky. You really have to take the spoon and make sure you mix it for at least 3 minutes in order to get it more of this consistency. Because it does still look very sticky. What I can say is if there's a way that they can kind of scrape it off their hands and then get it into their container or their bowl. Another thing is, they all, trying to think, they all got the same amount. Normally, if you were here in person, I would add a squirt more of the contact solution, but I know unfortunately we don't have that option right now. So I would say if there was a way for them to get it back into their container, actually in there, and to mix it up a little bit. Because if you look at Vanille's is very much like mine, but it still shows that stretchy consistency. But I know that he was mixing it up a lot too. Hopefully that's helpful. I'm sorry if it's not, I'm trying my best. But I do think they probably just need to mix it a little bit more. But you guys are doing great. I know the first time I made slime ever, I had a hard time with it. So it doesn't always work out the very first time. My coworker said she still can't do it right. Oh, okay. Yes. So you want to I'm trying to think. Oh, it broke David's spoon. um, let me see. So for Adeline and Everett, you guys got two separate kits, correct? Or yes, okay. You want to make sure that you add all of the solution. You wouldn't think that that would make too much of a difference if you don't put all of it in, but it actually does, because it definitely doesn't have the reaction it needs to for the amount of glue that's there if you don't put all the solution in. So I would definitely try that, and you should see right away if you pour more of it in. It'll start to, like, it's a gross word, but it'll start to coagulate like this did once you put all the solution in. And then make sure that they mix for 2 to 3 minutes. And I bet you that it'll start to change a little bit. More like how Adeline's is, where it's getting a little thicker there. Once you add the solution in, it'll start to get more like this consistency. But you guys are doing great though. And at least it's slimy, right? Please let me know if you need any more help, because I will definitely try my best to make that work. I threw your kid off the table. Vanille, wow, that's crazy. There you go. Awesome. It looks like Everett, can you hold yours up? Is it starting to get a little bit chunkier like this? It looks like it a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Yes, Everett's is looking, from what I can see, it's starting to do a little bit more of what it's supposed to. Good, awesome. Okay, thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Oh, I lost an eyeball. Guess I'll have to just stick it back in there. And it's fun because the more that we do this, the better it'll be. Now, like I said, if you don't want your slime to be super thick like mine is, you can put that, let me see, what was it again? It was the 2 tablespoons of water if you want, but that was initially when we were mixing. So what I would do is, if you wanted to make more slime or try a different consistency, you can always follow that instruction sheet that we have in the kit, but just make sure that you add the 2 make sure that you add the 2 tablespoons of water if you wanted it to be stretchy. Oh, whoops. It's okay. Remember, at the end of the day, we'll end up washing our hands anyhow. So it's okay to get a little messy. Also, if your hands start to get a little sticky, you can always rinse your hands with water and start playing with this again, and it'll give a little bit more elasticity to your slime. Oops, I think I lost another eye. Hold on, guys. Where did it go? Oh boy. Alyssa's looks like a glove from like the Marvel movies. Oh, there you go. Adeline, is it looking a little better for you now? Consistency wise? Yay! Very good. Okay. Awesome. That's what I was hoping. Good. I love the pink. That looks great. And Everett's is blue. I like that too. Awesome. Now I can see you stretch it out. Perfect. Vivek Did that scare you? Would have scared me too. See, now here's another idea. If we don't have any of them today, but if you wanted to make more of a Halloween slime, sometimes you can buy those fake plastic spiders or like fake little bugs, and you can put those in your slime just like we did with the eyeballs, and they would kind of hang out in there too. And if it's helpful, you can, oh, Vanille lost an eyeball too. You can always, in order to do this recipe, it calls for 6 ounces of glue, which is exactly the size of a school glue bottle. So if you guys ever see those Elmer's school glues, the bottles are about this big. Okay, that is 6 ounces of glue. So all you do is you dump out a whole container of glue, and then you'd use your baking soda and your contact solution. I think the contact solution that we used was BioTrue. And if you have your grown-ups look on the back, it'll talk about that it has the chemical in there that we need, which was sodium borate. Excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, sodium borate, but it's boric acid. I was calling it the the name you didn't need to know. So you can get that from the store as well. But I will say that we tend to do slime probably at least twice a year. So I know we did it in the summer, and then we're doing it now. So we'll probably do it again sometime next year. And let's see. Oh, I'm so glad. Everett and Adeline, I'm glad it's very fun. That makes me so happy. I'm so excited for you guys that it worked. And oh, Vanille says it reached 4 foot high. Wow, that's awesome. See, oh, Vivek is doing the same thing. Now make sure you're careful, Vivek, if you're standing on your chair, okay? I don't want you to fall. You could always, if your parents don't mind, if you have like a hardwood floor or like a linoleum floor, you could also always stretch it out on the floor, but you want to make sure your floor is clean. Otherwise, it's going to get a little weird and then you won't be able to have it last as long. Or you could just stand up and you could stretch it that way too. But just make sure you're not right on top of a chair. Oh, David, that's awesome. I still think it's super cool. Like, David, can you tell us in the chat, did you mix 2 colors to get your color? Yeah, you did? Very cool. You can tell. How about Alyssa? Did you mix colors to make your color? Very cool. Oh, okay. You mixed green and blue? Very neat. It reminds me of like the ocean. That's what the color kind of reminds me of. Oh, see, Adeline, there you go. Now it's super stretchy. Oh, Vivek's was 4 feet high too? That's awesome. Eyeball. Attack of the goo with an eyeball. All right. Wow. Can you guys believe that we only have 5 minutes left to our program? That went fast, huh? Oh, no problem. Thank you so much, Adeline and Everett. I hope you have a good day. Have a good weekend, too. Oh, Colin and Jack, I hope you guys had a good time. Thank you so much for the compliment, and I hope you have a great weekend. I'm smiling under here. You just can't see it. Bye. See you later. All right. So let's see. Aw, that's awesome, Vanille. You're more than welcome to stay the next 5 minutes on if you want to. I was just saying goodbye to the other family, but I really appreciate that. I'll let you know for sure when we're all going off. Look, it looks like my hair. Notice I do not have it on my head. It just looks like it's on my head. Or it's a hot dog hat. Or it's a cloud. Or it's, oh, do not eat the slime. Mm-mm. No, you're joking with me, Vivek. You didn't eat it. Make sure you don't, though. It's not good for you, and it would not taste good at all, and it would not be good for you to eat it, so please don't. But that was a good joke. Yes, you would be very sick if you ate the slime. You want to make sure not to eat the slime because it's got chemicals in it. It's got contact solution and baking soda, which sometimes we use in different things. But glue, we don't want to eat glue. That would be disgusting. All right, friends, so we've got 2 minutes. Is there anyone that would want to say hello or anything before we go? Yeah? All right, here, I think David said, all right, so I'll do it one at a time here. So David, I asked you to, yep. Did you have fun?
Yes. I didn't know that if you mix green and blue would make the teal color.
Oh, see, that's awesome. See, we learned something new, right? You did a great job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, next I saw Adeline. So Adeline, I'll go ahead and unmute you, okay?
So for our slime, I had a JJCU slime making kit, and last time we definitely failed, but this time it definitely worked, and it's so much fun.
Oh, I'm so glad.
And that was my fault. I thought because it said you didn't want to add too much contact solution, I just put a little bit in instead of the whole thing.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah.
That's probably what we did last time too, wrong.
Oh, see, and I think it's very temperamental. Like sometimes it works great. I mean, the first time that I was testing it for the library before we had the program, I had to try it 3 or 4 times to get it like exactly right. So I could totally see that happening.
I got a ball.
Yeah, but that was definitely it. We added the contact solution and fixed it right up.
I really want to play
Good.
I really want to play with Snow White in it.
Oh, see, and you can too. That's awesome because the toys are washable. All right, friends, I'm going to give someone else a shot, okay? All right, let's see. Alyssa. Okay, go ahead.
I had a lot of fun making the slime.
Oh, good.
And I actually made a slime before, but I never made one just like this.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing. You did a great job. Let's see. Vanille or Vivek, would you like to share? Or are you guys good?
I had fun making the slime.
Good. I'm so glad.
Also, me and Vivek exchanged it right now.
You say that one more time?
Me and Vivek exchanged slimes right now.
Oh, I noticed you had a different color because you had green before, right? And now Vivek has green, and now you have orange. That's awesome.
Actually pink.
Oh, is it pink? Oh, oh, now I see it. Maybe it was like the reflection. Oh, now I can see it's pink. Oh, that's very cool. I like that color. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
All right, Vivek, did you want to say anything? Yeah? Okay, go ahead.
I had really fun.
Aw. Good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you had fun. That's great. All right, friends. Well, we're actually 2 minutes past. So I'm probably going to let you guys go. That went so quick because we had so much fun, right? So I'm so glad you had a great time, and I'd love to see you next week for our skeleton bone bridge. That's more engineering, so we'll be making a bridge and trying to balance things on top. So your grown-ups will get an email about that next week, probably on Monday or Tuesday, from that Gmail account that I set up, and then I will get you the Zoom information for that. But it was so lovely to see you guys, and I'm so glad you had fun. So I'll let you guys go, okay? Bye, friends. It was great to see you. Oh, make sure to wash your hands. Bye. See you later, alligators.
Bye.
Bye.
Evening.
Bye. Bye. See you later. Bye, Vivek. See you later. Bye, Adeline. Bye, Everett. See you later, alligators. It was great to see you.